the scent of this is so repulsive. Alright, so today we have September Raves and Rejects. This is August and September combined. I basically just discovered that I don't have enough new things every single month. Like, it takes me a while for a product to become a favorite. I like testing it for usually at least like around 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So by the time that happens, it's already the next month. So I feel like doing these every other month is the way I like to do it. So with that being said, these are my products from the last 2 months. If you're excited for this video and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. I do have a Raves and Rejects playlist down below if you want to check any others out. I just dyed my roots last night, so my hair is looking a little wild right now. Okay, where to start off? I feel like we have to start off with, I think, one of the most underrated eyeshadow palettes of all time. This launch just like totally went under the radar. No one really talks about Loreal, but this is the Loreal Luxe Diamond Palette. I've been using this over a month now, about a month and a couple weeks I want to say. I have it on my eyes right now. It's all of my eyeshadows. This palette I love for so many different reasons. First of all, this first row here, if you have fair skin, these are like the basics. They have a good matte light shade here, Carrot, and then VIP and Diamonds are two of the most beautiful light champagne shimmers I have ever come across. They're super buttery, super intense. I just feel like this palette has literally everything I need. It has a semi-cool tone shade right here that I have on in the crease right now, and then you have some warmer mattes. I can literally create any kind of look with this palette. It has all of the go-to shades I need. The black in here is super black. I have it on right now. I like to just kind of like smoke it out, so I do make it look less intense, but you could build it up and get like a black. But I've been loving putting black right here instead of eyeliner. Like right now I have no eyeliner on. I just feel like when I do that, it makes my eyes look bigger without having to wear a winged liner or anything. The shadows in here are soft, pigmented, but they don't blend away. They are so beautiful. I really, truly feel like this is probably the most underrated eyeshadow palette. I almost always reach for this, besides the other palette I'm going to show you, because I'll put this all over the lid and then I'll put that into the crease and call it a day. Okay, so this is one of those products that I'm almost out of. That's how much I've used it, which is rare for me for concealer because I just have an entire basket here of concealers, okay, that I just like rotate through. So if I go through a concealer, that says a lot. So this is the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. This was one of those products that was like a slow growth for me because it took me a little bit to find a way to make it really work for me, but once I found it, beautiful. Consistency of this almost reminds me of the Flower Beauty Light Illusion and the finish. It does give like a really pretty creamy, almost like dewy kind of finish. Obviously then I set my under eyes with powder so it takes away the dewy finish, but it does have this like creamy, super moisturizing feel to it. I do get full coverage with this. What you have to do is just leave it on for like 30 seconds to 45 seconds before you start blending it out. I've been going through the shade Fair, but they actually have lighter shades of this, so I'm going to finish off the shade Fair and then go in with one of the lighter ones I have because this one is too dark. So if you're around my skin tone, I would say definitely don't go with Fair. I just already had this one. It does have just a doe foot wand here, pretty basic, but yeah, I can like see the bottom of this, so almost out. You guys will be seeing this in an empties, but it's just one of those products that I realized I hadn't really raved about, even though I use it almost every single day. I wanted to give an honorable mention to this drugstore concealer because I haven't tested this one for like weeks yet, but just while we're on that note, I've basically been like switching between these two. It's full coverage. You literally need like 2 dots of this. When I say 2 dots, 2 dots, tiny dots, very tiny dots. It dries down matte. It almost like sets itself a little bit. So I've been loving this one. I'm going to keep testing it, but you'll probably see it in next month's Raves and Rejects. Just a heads up. This product is one of those things that I cannot put my finger on what is so unreal about this, but it is unreal. It's the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur Blush in the shade Blurred Buff. It's a super unique, natural looking blush shade that I feel like could work on so many different skin tones. I'm wearing it right now. It gives the most beautiful sheen to your cheeks. I love wearing this on no makeup days, but I can also layer it on top of full-on foundation and powder, and it doesn't like lift up what's underneath. The formula of this is almost like ColourPop. Like it's not a full-on cream, but I definitely wouldn't say it's a powder. It does have like a little bit of wetness to it, but then it dries down to a powder. But when it's sitting on your skin, it looks like a cream. This is like up there with Buxom Seychelles for me. Totally different shades, but just as far as like how blown away I am by a blush, it is so unique. If you like cool toned shadows, this shadow stick stays on all day and is the most beautiful cool toned taupey kind of shade. Is Laura Mercier Intense Moonlight Caviar Eye Stick color. CoverGirl makes a similar product to these. I just haven't found an exact shade to this. I am all about this kind of cool toned taupey shade, especially in like the winter. I think it's so pretty. It just makes you look all like icy, and look at how intense that is. It does have like some glitter in it. It stays on my eyes though. I haven't found that the glitter like falls onto my face throughout the day or anything. It really stays on. I think I wore this in a Foundation Friday video so you guys can see the lasting power. It would not be September Raves and Rejects without talking about this mascara combo that I have talked so much about. But in case you somehow missed it, here we are again. So in my July Raves and Rejects video, which was my last one, I raved about the Essence Lash Princess. And if you have tried this and you loved it, your mind is about to be fully blown if you layer it with the Revlon So Fierce mascara. You guys, I haven't felt the need to wear false lashes. In my daily life, I don't wear false lashes, but when I'm filming, and especially if I had on like a full smoky eye like this, normally I would want to throw on false lashes. I just feel like it really completes the look. And sometimes I feel like my eyes need it with this kind of bold look. Because of this mascara combo, haven't been really feeling the need to wear false lashes as much at all. Both of these are drugstore. I'm not recommending the So Fierce by itself. I'm only recommending this as a layering mascara. But you can wear the Lash Princess by itself and it's super pretty too, but just the two combined, they hold the craziest curl and volume I've ever found out of any mascara or mascara combo I've ever used. You guys can see in my Foundation Friday videos how my lashes are at the end of the night. They stay like crazy curled like this. I don't know what it is about this combo. So super quick, exactly how I apply these. I'll put on a coat of Revlon So Fierce, right away go in with the Lash Princess, but then I'll give this about a minute to dry down. You don't want to go in with this while this is still fully wet. Give it a little bit to dry down where you can still add another layer, but it's not totally set yet. Then go back in for the third layer with the Revlon So Fierce, and this one is going to separate it and give that like last final pop of volume, whatever. It's going to give some volume, and that is how I combo these up. Wow, I'm blown away still every time I think about it. Highlight I'm wearing right now, and that I've been reaching for a ton since I discovered it, is the e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam Highlighting Palette. I did a full face of e.l.f. video, I think in August, and ever since then I've been using this shade right here. These are pretty as eyeshadow. I'll put this one on my inner corner sometimes, but I love this shade for my face. If you've been looking for a good drugstore highlight, this shade right here is pretty freaking beautiful. It almost reminds me of the Hourglass. Remember that limited edition highlighting palette that was in the silver packaging? I think it was like the strobe lighting palette. It reminds me of that shade a lot. It gives like a similar effect. I don't think they make that Hourglass one anymore. I don't like these for my face. I find them to be too metallic for my liking, but if you're someone who likes like Anastasia highlights or something a little bit more chunky and metallic, you would probably like these. But all around, for I think this is like between $5 and $8, I want to say. Super great highlighter. Okay, another drugstore item. So this is the e.l.f. Oh, and by e.l.f. e.l.f. matte setting powder. Also discovered this in that video. I basically just found a way that I like using this that is perfection. So the shade of this is too dark for me and it's too yellow. It's their lightest shade, light. So I wish they came out with more shades of this because then I would just use this on its own. What I've discovered that I really like on my skin and that really changes the overall look of like my base is after my setting spray. So like after my face is all glowy, I will go in, where's the brush? With this brush. This is the BH Cosmetics number 4. If you're doing this, make sure your face is fully dry from the setting spray or else you're gonna get like weird texture happening. But once it's dry, after you've set your face with spray, I go in with this, dip in just a touch of the matte setting powder from e.l.f. and I just go around my pore area and it totally blurs it out. Like before I did this today, I'm wearing it right now, it looked like pretty shiny. Like it looked like my forehead, which I like dewy skin on my forehead. But if you just set around your pores, it really makes such a difference because it almost like, it makes it look finished and not overly dewy or like oily, and it really blurs in my pores, which I have pretty big pores around my nose area, so I just love how blurring this is. The only thing is that because the shade is too dark, I have to go in with this powder right after. It's the Superstay in number 102. I just use this as a lightening powder for under my eyes for wherever I need it on my face. So I'll just take a bit of this and I'll go right over top of that just to lighten it up. It doesn't affect like the finish of it, but it just lightens everything up. So that's what I've been doing for around my pore area, and I feel like this really has made such a difference. I don't like using this on my forehead. I just keep it around my pores. Next up is the other eyeshadow palette that I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I've been reaching for a ton. And this kind of shocked me because I kind of just had this in my like to try pile for a long time and I wasn't super excited about it. But then once I tried it and I kept using it, There's something about these shadows. The Reloaded palette feels to me like it's a little bit of a different formula. I don't know if that's true, but these don't irritate my eyes either, and something in the old Urban Decay Naked palettes did, so I feel like there's something different about these, but these are just great neutral everyday tones. I don't use the shimmers in here that much. I don't really like the pink in here. I wish they just like took that out. I don't know, it just kind of like throws me off. But everything else I've been dipping into, and I love Bribe for all over the lid. I don't think it's going to show up on there, but I've made a pretty good indent in that shade already. And then Bucked I'll put into the crease. Blur is super pretty all over the lid too. It does look a little bit darker on my skin than how it looks in the pan, so it's almost like a really pretty matte shade to put all over the lid where it makes it look a little bit fall and like a little bit smoky, but not too dark at all. It's just like a little bit darker than my skin tone. And then Boundaries I'll go in with. So I just kind of use like a mix of the basic matte shades in here, and they blend out so well. When Mallory was here, we were talking about this palette, and she also really likes this and feels like there's something like weirdly good about this formula. So I don't know, I feel like there is something different with this. These to me have a really effortless blend. So in, I think it was end of August it went up, but I filmed that video before. All my videos have been way pre-filmed the last couple months, but I did a video testing out Nabla, first impressions video, and a few things are in my rejects, but a few things stood out. Two of the things I really like and that I keep reaching for over and over are the blushes and these two shades. So I'm wearing a mix of these right now. That's kind of what I've been doing, is just dipping into both, and I get a really pretty neutral bronze shade, but if I just want more of a contour, I'll go in with this shade. It is so nice and light, which is really difficult to find if you have fair skin. It's in the shade Gotham. This is the more cool toned one. And then if you want a light bronzer shade that's also really pretty, or if you want to mix the two, this shade is Manoy, and it has a bit of a sheen to it. And all of these for the pans I think are only like 12 bucks, so pretty affordable. This shade, Hey Honey, is the one I've been reaching for most, the blush shade, but then this one is a little bit more pink, and this one does have a sheen too. This one is Coralia. So both of these, super pretty. I don't reach for this pink one at all. It's just like in the pan. I should probably just take it out. So if you missed it, I did a Sunday relax routine video. Part of that video was sponsored by Briogeo. I'm not getting paid to talk about this product at all right now. I just feel like it deserves another shout out because it is amazing. And I want you guys to know, anytime I do a video like that, I get to choose the product. So it's not like they're like, here's 3 products you need to talk about. I wouldn't do a video if it was like that and I didn't like the product. I would never do that. With Briogeo, I get to actually test out all of their products and talk about the ones that I want to talk about. So I just want you guys to know that I genuinely love this. Let's get into the actual product. It's the Color Me Brilliant Color Protect Primer. First of all, it smells amazing. Talked about it in that video. If you want to see like this in action and see how shiny my hair is and stuff after I use this, check out that video. I have it in my hair right now. I dyed my hair last night and then I styled it this morning. This, I feel like, is one of those products that is kind of like a one and done kind of thing. I've only been using this in my hair when it's damp, and then I'll style it, put in some hairspray, and then I'm good to go. I've been on the hunt for a good heat protectant for a while. This one I think is totally worth the money. It just really helps with my frizziness. It makes my hair look super shiny, and it smells incredible. Okay, we're getting down to the end of the raves here. I had to mention this lip gloss by Revlon, Super Lustrous The Gloss in the shade 203 Lean In. This is one of those glosses that does something magical where it just makes your lips look so reflective and shiny without being like a metallic looking gloss. It just makes your lips look so plump, so reflective. It almost reminds me of the Patrick Ta gloss a little bit, except this one's like a third of the price. It doesn't show up as like bubblegum pink on your lips. It's a little bit more subtle. Right now I don't obviously have this on, but I do have on this Makeup Forever in the shade 03. This is their Artist Nude Cream. And then last rave here is a face mask. This is by NIOD. I had never heard of this brand, but I think it's part of DCM. So DCM owns The Ordinary, or The Ordinary is like one of their, I don't even know like the structure of DCM. It's kind of confusing, but DCM is the one who makes The Ordinary Rosehip Oil. NIOD, I think, is one of their brands. This is the Flavanone Mud Mask, and it says to just leave it on for 10 minutes. It says a strong temporary stinging sensation will occur, especially after the product has been rinsed off, and that is true. The first couple times I used this, I didn't feel it. Then around the third time, I definitely started feeling the tingling sensation they were talking about. The thing I like about this, a few different things. I really feel like this has helped cleared up some of I've had some like breakouts coming out, I think from certain foundations and then a setting spray. I'm trying to nail down exactly what it's from, but I've been getting like some forehead breakouts and stuff, and I've noticed that when I use this, even if I just use it as like a spot treatment, not an all over face mask, it really helps to kind of clear up those spots super quickly. I don't know if flavanone, I don't know if that's like what this mud is known for, but it works. It's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. It smells very natural, but there's something about it. It almost smells kind of like sweet, like gingerbread cookies or something, but it definitely doesn't smell like it's fragrance. It smells like a natural smell. It washes off so easy. It's more of like a thin consistency. When you put water on it and just go like that, it washes off, which I love because I hate when you have to sit there like scrubbing your face to get the face mask off. And I like that you only have to leave this on for 10 minutes. So if you've been looking for a good, I don't want to say like acne clearing because trust me, you guys know I've been there with acne, and I don't think this is gonna like solve all of your acne problems, but if you just want something that's almost more of like a spot treatment for some zits here and there, this mask is awesome and it's been working really well on my skin. All right, so those are all of my raves. Now let's move into the products that sucked. Some of these aren't like horribly shitty, they're just standouts that I definitely didn't like the past couple months. So the first one is the Not Your Mother's Weightless Mousse. So I ordered the curl cream, which is their popular product, and then I also figured I'd pick up this because it says flexible hold and it had good reviews for helping out with curls. This just does like nothing for my face. For my hair, it actually makes my hair feel pretty dry, and I feel like this just did literally nothing. It's just like an unnecessary kind of product. I've been still trying to nail down a good curly hair routine. I don't want to go all out and do like the curly girl method because I don't wear my hair like that all the time. It's usually just like once every couple weeks I'll wear it super curly like that. But when I do that, I just want something that doesn't frizz and that like holds the curl. So that's what I've been aiming for. You guys know, love my Too Faced Better Than Sex. Really don't love the Too Faced Damn Girl mascara. This just makes my lashes so, it's not even clumpy. It's like, you know when certain mascaras make your lashes clump together so that you look like you have fewer lashes than you actually have? This one is just such a wet formula that just clumps all of my lashes together and just doesn't give me that much volume or anything. The wand is massive. Like, look at how huge that is. More giant than my entire eyeball. And for high-end, I don't know, I just don't think this is worth the money. Next reject is the L'Oreal Blush Please in the shade 12. I tried both of these and there's just so much glitter in here. I don't understand. I don't know if it's gonna pick up, but it's like full on glitter. You have these like chunks of gold glitter all over the place, so when it's on your face, it just looks really not flattering. All right, and then two products from Nabla that I really just don't think are worth the money at all. The baking setting powder and this press powder. This press powder seemed especially like a ripoff. It is just a super basic, it almost feels to me like a powder from Dollar Tree or something. It just feels like so basic, and it is not cheap at all. I think this powder was like 20 to 30 bucks, both of these. Check out the Nabla video if you want to see how it works, but both of these I just think you could definitely pass on. If you've been thinking about them, go with other options. Don't buy these. This next product is a reject for me, but I think certain people would really like this, just depending on what you like. But this is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. The scent of this is so repulsive. So repulsive. Oh, I could vomit. Super, super strong watermelon scent, but it also is so tacky, which again, sometimes I like, but there's something about this one with the scent of it, and because it's so sticky and tacky, I just feel like I have a Jolly Rancher all over my face. So if you like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and you've been looking for a cheaper option and you don't mind super strong fruity scents, then I think you would like this, but if that's not you, then stay away. And then last reject is another one by e.l.f. This isn't horrible. I just don't find that it does anything. It's the e.l.f. Blurring Primer Serum. I don't think this does a whole lot of blurring at all, and it's just kind of like, it's unnecessary, really. You don't need this. You don't need to spend your money on it. You don't need to put it on your face. It's just kind of like a serum that's not doing anything. The packaging feels nice. It's very heavy and it's like a glass bottle. All right, so those are all of my August and September raves and rejects. Let me know down below what your raves and rejects were from the month. If there's anything I need to check out, let me know. Why did that not sound like English for a second there? I'm gonna have everything listed down below in the description box. I always put the makeup on my face too. And a foundation I'm wearing right now, since I'll probably get questions, is the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage. By the time this video goes up, I'm pretty sure that review will be up. I filmed that like a month ago at this point, but there were so many new foundation launches that I just kind of like kept pushing that upload back. But this should be up or it's coming next week, but I've been testing it for like weeks now. I have the shades 0.3 and 1.1 mixed. 0.3 is too light, 1.1 is way too dark, and I've been really liking this. I'm still testing it, but you guys will see my thoughts coming in Foundation Friday update video. But all the other products I talked about will be linked down below in the description box. But if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.